Hi, I'm Enchanting Nubianette. Welcome back. And to all of my new viewers, thanks for stopping by. Let's get started. 53-year-old Damian Johnson registered as a carer or home health aide for John Wainwright. The man had a long-term friendship for 27 years, and he was employed full-time. Basically, Damian Johnson worked right around the clock with long hours. So it made sense that he moved into Mr. Wainwright's flat in Birmingham, the UK. Previously, Mr. Johnson was employed as a healthcare assistant and carer at the Royal Derby Hospital. He was registered in his profession since 2015. Later, this was confirmed by a mitigator. Now, after 2 years, 71-year-old John Wainwright passed away in September 2018. He transitioned at his apartment residence. Promptly, Damian Johnson, the carer or home health aide, purchased a deep freezer. It was delivered to the apartment, known as a flat in the UK. Now, before I continue this news story, please remember to hit the notification button, like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Now, this freezer measured 2 feet by 3 feet. It was large with an appropriate amount of depth for an adult body to fit inside. When John Wainwright's relatives inquired about him, right away Damian said, "Oh, he's buried already." In my opinion, that's the first clue. Then, having no funeral is a second clue. He did not contact any emergency services or relatives, nor did he obtain a deceased certificate. Now, I won't mention the actual D word because of YouTube's rules. Everyone, wouldn't you get an inkling that something is quite off? And it didn't add up for John Wainwright's family not to have a certificate, which is official documentation of the tragedy. And on a different occasion, a friend of Damian Johnson even stayed overnight at the flat. Unbeknownst to him, a decaying body was just a few feet away. And in December 2019, Damian Johnson committed the crime. The police officer's details about something illegal he had done, something else. Now, although police did not immediately search the apartment, Damian Johnson was restricted from entering his home on December 6th. Damian Johnson's apartment was boarded up. Even worse, all of the appliances were unplugged since there wasn't access, including the deep freezer. Now, since John Wainwright's body was no longer frozen, the smell filled the hallways, entered the tenants' apartments, and lingered there. Neighbors began complaining about this wretched smell. Residents living at the apartment found it difficult to breathe, and a few government professionals entered the apartment to complete safety checks. Inside the apartment, professionals recognized the dreadful smell. Finally, on August 21st, 2020, the removal team entered Damian Johnson's apartment, assuming there was a lot of rotten food. Honestly, I thought professionals would recognize that odor and that they would have identified that someone was deceased sooner. It was such a distinct smell. Inside the room, the team from Budget Skips Limited Incorporated in Exhall, Warwickshire, found John Wainwright decayed remains. They characterized the smell as, in quotes, horrendous and unbearable, end of quotes. 5 days afterwards, a post-mortem examination discovered that John Wainwright had had blunt force trauma. The team did not state, and it did not confirm or rule out natural causes or diseases that caused his transition. The prosecutor investigated that Damian Johnson used John Wainwright's credit cards to make multiple purchases. Back and forth, Damian Johnson utilized the card without having a conscience from September 2018 all the way until May 2020. Meaning Mr. Wainwright had a significant amount of money for Mr. Johnson to make withdrawals for almost 2 years. In all, a cash withdrawal of $17,000 was made. Additionally, Damian Johnson made 11 transfers to his bank account totaling $2,475, and prosecutors charged 53-year-old Damian Johnson with fraud. He pleaded guilty for preventing the lawful and decent burial of Mr. Wainwright. Damian Johnson was going to jail for 2 years. He was charged with 3 counts of fraud, and he was given concurrent 6-month sentences too. According to the mitigator, Damian Johnson stated that he and John Wainwright had a verbal agreement. In his words, both of the men agreed that whoever outlived the other would have access to the money within the joint account. In court, Damian Johnson's defense team shared that the actions to keep John Wainwright's body wasn't callous at all. They said it was done because Damian could not bear to part ways with his dear friend. They went on to say that Damian Johnson did not have ill intentions at all. The plaintiff's team of lawyers blatantly said in quotes, "Everything you did facilitated to the hiding of that body. Nothing you did contributed to the body being found." In quotes, they said this is an offense that is so serious that the only appropriate punishment can be achieved by immediate custody. End of quotes. In Derby Brown Court, Damian Johnson tried to sound sorrowful and convincing by sharing how he saw John Wainwright as a father figure. This is such an unfortunate tragedy, especially because the pair knew each other for over 2 decades. Mr. Wainwright's life and body wasn't treated with respect. Damian Johnson did not value his long-term friend, and he needs to stay in jail for a very long time. Please remember to hit the notification bell, like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Please leave a comment as well. Thanks a million, and stay safe wherever you are.